Hello, Konnichiwa, this is T-Secure, and you're watching PokeCast. Today's video is a follow-up review on the PlayStation TV. I had the opportunity to go in, really go into the menus and try out, tweak a few more things that I wasn't really able to do yesterday because I was having too much fun playing too many games. And I was able to play a couple more games, and I plugged in my DuelShock 4 controller to the system, and that's one of the major things that I want to talk about today is, is it better to have the DualShock 4 or is it better to have the DualShock 3 on there? And I also got to try out a few new other features that I was able to do today. So, but the reason why I'm doing this is because I got a lot of comments all of a sudden. The first comment, of course, I'll be honest, I had to laugh. Because to me, it was just like, okay, I guess I was. So, here's the first comment. This one is from Mega Gamer X1000. Okay, so his comment is, not everything has a... Oops. I'll go and read this comment right. Okay, not everybody has a PS4 controller, and there are some games that use the rear touchpad as well as the front. Some others use motion controls. The PS4 controller can't do all of that. I'm sorry to say, but everything you said about it is biased. You barely pointed out any of the flaws. Well, let's talk about some of these things that aren't about this comment real fast, because it makes it fun. First of all, I plugged in my my DualShock 4 to try out the controller to see if it actually is better to have on the system. Well, after I figured out how to turn on the pointers for I can use it to play the games that are compatible that need touch, such as Plants vs. Zombie, L3 turns on the front pointer, and R3 turns on the rear pointer. So the whole point of some games have to use the rear and front to be able to play. Your argument is invalid, unfortunately, with that one. Now the DualShock 4, because of the touchscreen automatically does the front pointer. True, not everybody has a PS4 controller, but the PS4 controller is mainly used for you can stream your PS4 games that uses the touch features with a touchpad. If you do not want to stream the PS4 that you already own elsewhere, then the point of not having a PS4 controller does kind of go into the realm of you don't have a PS4, therefore you don't have a PS4 controller. If you really want to play PS4 controller on the PS TV, then people are going to buy it for that extra feature of the touchpad. However, the rear touch, you still have to use R3 to turn on, so it kind of defeats the purpose of having the PS4 controller on there when the PS3 controller works just as good. You just got used to, okay, push this button, automatically turns on. I was actually playing the Toro House, and that's what I was using. I was actually using, on the DualShock 4, I turned on the cursor just to use the cursors, then using the touchpad. It was easier in my opinion, because you still have to use all the other buttons. So, I just thought it was funny. And of course, just to be honest, yes, I was very excited for the system because I could play Monster Hunter full screen. I was able to play a couple of the PSP games full screen. I can't help it but be excited when this feature has been added on, and it's been something I've been dreaming about doing because I use my Go and my 2000 to play all the games I have on the big screen, but I saw that huge black border around it. So for me, yes, I was more biased than I usually am. I do apologize to everybody out there who wanted a non-biased video, but when features that I have been dreaming about come out, you can't help but be excited. Plus, I just want to make a note that I thought I mentioned in the last video. That was day one. There are going to be errors. There are going to be some features not given out. This is what Sony does. Sony gives, here is the base system. here's the features we're giving you now. In the time to come, we will be giving you more features. We will be fixing some features to make it work. True, we do not have all the games yet compatible, which is some of the questions I was getting from one, if I say this wrong, I'm sorry, one Miss Anthropist. If I'll say that wrong, I'm sorry. You know, he was asking, hey, what about this? What about this? What about this? I did go in and try to hook up as many devices as I could that I currently own. It does not work with a mouse yet. I was unable to get my keyboard to work. Either my, that is my USB keyboard and my PS3 wireless Bluetooth keyboard. Those do not work at this time. I know Sony was saying that they're going to, you know, even in the menu it says keyboard. I don't know if it's right now there's an update that needs to be given to work with all the keyboards. So I'm waiting to find out and see if that's going to happen. So I don't know about the keyboard and mouse situation. That would be a nice little feature because there are some games like Plants vs. Zombie that a mouse would work better using it with the pointer. So if Sony does fix that up, that would be nice. I was the weirdest controller I was able to get to work was my Blu-ray remote. Yes, my little remote where I can, you know, do that. That one works. It was super easy to hook up. However, it doesn't work properly with the movies yet. So it makes me kind of wonder what Sony's going to do with that. And but that works. Other than that, you know, yes, there are a lot of games that have not been patched yet. But Sony gave us enough games to where we were able to play Vita games, mini games, mobile games, PlayStation 1 games, PSP games, all those. So for us not to have a patched Uncharted, a patched this, that game, really remember this is the first week this is out. More patches to come. So if people are really like, but I can't play this game on that, that's not cool enough, I have to pick up my Vita and play the Vita, and you gotta remember, things are coming. You know, they gave us Killzone Mercenaries on day one, so that was one thing that I was very pleased and very happy about. I could already download my Ben 10 racing game. I could do several of the racing games. I can do some of the really good titles. I'm very surprised that they were able to get ready for this. So, you know, with everything that we were able to play on day one, to complain about this game not working is kind of it's not a fair thing to do yet because it's week one. This is only the second day the systems have been out. Patches are coming, but it has to be done by the company that wants to patch their game to work with that. So, you know, we have to give it time for everybody else that's like, I can't play Uncharted, I can't play this game, what's going on? Just wait. The games will be patched to work. Especially the Sony games, most likely. You know, Uncharted is a huge exclusive. Most likely Sony's going to find a way to patch it to where it doesn't need to use a touchscreen. I wouldn't be surprised. So, that's what it is, right? Now, going back to streaming. Yesterday I was talking about how I was able to stream the PS4. Now, it is better to use the DualShock 4 controller when you are streaming PS4 games, because that way you get all features in the game. You know, it streams really nice. It's just the menu was a little crazy yesterday. Today I didn't have any problems really. I did also rent a game from the PlayStation Now. I did God of War Ascensions, and I have to say, it felt like I was using the PS4 controller at the time, but it felt like I was playing on my PS4 at the time, and I had to kind of remind myself, no, you're on the TV. You're playing the TV. And it was amazing to see just how well it streamed. I had no problems, loaded perfectly, the game played perfectly, the game looked perfect. Sound was really good. It had everything it needed to be, so I didn't see any real issues with PlayStation Now that I could really say, okay, here's the downside about doing PlayStation Now, except for the prices and the time. That's just a given. It's still a beta, so we have to be nice about it. So for the flaws of the system, I always try to break a system, try to do whatever I can to make the system break. Have a crash, have a freeze, have anything. The only freeze I have gotten so far was my browser. I've tried all my games I've been able to download and play. I've had no problems with any of the games except that I had to learn how to turn on the cursor. Now, I will be honest, it takes a little getting used to actually play Plants vs. Zombie using the analog pointer. So the PS4 controller would be better for that particular game until you get used to, using your pointer. Of course, there is no microphone in this, so you have to use the mic. Right now, I know that a lot of the headsets don't work, and so that is a little bit of an issue that we can't use all of our headsets. One sec, I'm gonna go, because I just remembered, I'm gonna go try out my pulse to see if they fix the pulse to work for that, so I'll be right back. Alright, so I just tried out my pulse. No, you cannot use the pulse on the system as of now. Is that a downside? I'll say right now, yes. It is kind of sad because it would be fantastic to have it for certain games. Though I do know Sony said as of now. Does that mean that they're going to patch it? We don't know. Most likely. Other things that I'm trying to think of anything else on the system that's the other thing really is just memory cards. I should have mentioned about memory cards, but we already know about that from the PSP and the Vita. We do have 1 gig of internal memory, and then you have to buy a memory card if you want to upgrade anything else. Flaws. There are several games that for some reason will not download directly to the system, so you do have to download them onto your PS3, then import them into the system that way. I don't know why that is, but that's like the only major flaw I could find with the store. And the weirdest thing about the store also is, here's one thing, I was able to crash the store. It looked like for a little bit. When you're in the store, it will show you all the other games and stuff that are currently in the Vita store, but are not currently on this store. So you can't really click on every single one of them and go, hey, I want to download it. It did kind of freeze it because it had to bring up a an app or a game that was not available yet on the system. And I'm really trying to think of anything else. Like I was able to see flaws with the system. The thing is, since the system is based off of the Vita, which has already had so many years, to be fixed, having the TV come out with already a fixed OS and system, it's kind of hard to find more flaws with the system when that's the case. So I really have tried to do everything I can to crash it or see what else of the multiple different apps and stuff that just flat out does not work, and I have not been able to find anything super major just because I don't own everything that is compatible with it yet, and it's. I was trying to. I'm trying to be as like, here's all of the bad sides about it. That's right, there's evil. Evil, I tell you, the system is evil. It really comes down to, it's working off a system that Sony has been fixing and making better. Currently, yeah, we did lose our near, we did lose several of our functions, but that's not a bad thing. It's a system that plugs into the TV, so it's no longer the Vita. To take away certain functions from the Vita and put it onto the TV is okay because it makes sense. The fact that we still have the capability of doing the rear touchpad and the front touchpad with either a DualShock 3 or a DualShock 4 is phenomenal. You know, one thing that could really work out is if Sony was to allow us to remote play the PlayStation TV using the PlayStation Vita. If they allow us to use the Vita as a controller for the PlayStation TV, then the whole concept of these games are non-compatible would be obsolete. All games for the Vita would be then compatible on the bigger screen because we'd be able to play it as playing as playing the GameCube with a Game Boy Advance or PS4 or PS3 with the Vita. If they do that function, that will solve a lot of our issues that people are having with, we can't play all of our games, we can't use the rear touchpad, which we can, and stuff like that. So I hope I've addressed each of the issues up there, and I hope this helps out. The further questions I wasn't able to answer yesterday, I wasn't thinking about, and thank you guys for making comments, honestly. No offense to you, Mega Gamer X1000. I really took it seriously, even though I was kind of chuckling, but I really went in and tried to search and see what else I could find about the system to see if I can solve some of the problems that you were mentioning. And I have been able to find some of the answers to those, and biased, I can't help it. Sometimes I get excited. Some gamers, we do. And I try to be as non-biased as possible, but sometimes you can't help it. With it having like I said, with having one of the dream features I've been waiting for, which made me pre-order the system, I couldn't help it. I really bought this system for mainly one purpose: PSP games on the big screen. I couldn't care less about the Vita games coming to the big screen. I already have a Vita, and I don't mind playing those. But having some Mercenaries on the big screen, working with other controllers, that was a bonus. But really, I bought this for my PSP games because I love the PSP. I love the games I have for it, and being able to play those on the big screen. That's why I bought this system, mainly, is for that particular reason. And so I was really excited because the feature that I wanted worked with no problem. And so far I have not been able to find tons of flaws, as I've been saying. So I hope this answers all you guys' questions so far, and continue to leave comments. I'll answer them as truthfully and non-sarcastically as possible, because I don't like being rude in my comments if I can. So thanks again, guys. Especially I'm giving a shout out to Mega Gamer X1000. Thank you for here's the problem. That was and honestly, it was a good comment. I'm really happy you put that. Once again, I'm sorry about if you felt I was being biased. I once again couldn't help it. And then one Miss Anthropist. Thank you for a lot of your comments as well. It really made me think and try out as many USB devices as I had. So that was really nice, and can't wait to hear some more from you guys and see if there's any more questions. I hope you guys have enjoyed this follow-up review to the PS4, talking about some of the features that I was not able to try yesterday. So keep on definitely going to send some more questions in, especially on this video, and if I can find the answer, I will. But please remember, everybody, it's week 1. Just like when the Vita came out, we didn't have a lot of features. This is the week 1 for the PlayStation TV. There's features coming that we will get eventually. So, we just gotta wait and see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. T Sakura saying ciao and sayonara.